welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. This Lovecraftian horror of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and Spotify. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my also host, Winter Trash Monk III.
What's up, everybody? It is Winter the Third. That's Winter Trash Monk the Third. That's Winter I. That's Winter I.
Remix.
Yeah, remix. I. Yeah, I'm coming in live, enjoying the day. We had a little bit of a rainstorm over the weekend, which made internet things a little complicated, but I survived.
He survived. He arose from the waterlogged, just the heavy rain, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Dude, if you was walking outside and there was a puddle in a rose, a water nymph that wanted to grant you one wish, would you just keep walking, or would you just take the wish and just see where it went?
I would take the wish.
Sweet. Like a beautiful water nymph giggled and knew your name and all that, and was like, Winter.
I'm like, would you marry me? Because she already fits 3 of the categories.
Dang, know my name.
Know my name. Think something funny.
I was going to say something really vulgar. Well, let's move on, dude.
What were you going to say, you creep?
No, man. This is a PG-13 podcast.
Oh, now you want to put age restriction on it.
Nah, man. I just, 2019, we got to keep it clean, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Over the shoulder. Leave room for the Lord.
That's pretty much that pretty much tells you what I was doing this weekend. Nothing fancy, over at the parents.
Nice.
Working on the script for our project.
Yeah. It's going to be dope. It's going to be so dope that they're going to call it Blue Magic and sell it out the backs of trucks. It's going to be that dope. It's going to be a brand name. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Just like Winter, my week was kind of waterlogged as well. Some of the rain, which we don't get much often, but when we do get it, the city seems to kind of shut itself down. We can't handle it. I don't know. Spoiled that way, I guess. So I'm still playing Resident Evil 2, which continues to be fun and scary and exciting and filling that hole before there's so many games coming out, before Devil May Cry 5. Watched 2 movies this week, one new and one old. And the old one, I don't know why I watched it. I just happened to watch it and glean some new things from it. The first movie I watched was on Netflix. It was called Polar.
Yeah, I have that waiting on my list to watch.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It stars Mads Mikkelsen, who I love. Like, that guy can do no wrong. He's awesome. he's just like this quiet storm of a human. And it was a very fun movie. It's a bit gratuitous, just to give you a heads up. It reminds me a lot of the movie Red with Bruce Willis and John Malkovich and Helen Mirren and all those people.
Nice.
A mix of that. And you ever seen a movie called Smoking Aces?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta and Alicia Keys and all them.
Yeah.
It's like a mix of those 2 movies. Just like It's like the whack. You know how
So you're
both movies
saying
really
it's a
don't.
good. So you're saying it's good.
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I'm probably gonna watch it again sometime this week, probably while falling asleep or something. It was good. It's my kind of movie. It doesn't take itself too serious. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dark. It's fun. It reminds me of a comic book. I liked it, so I would definitely recommend Polar on Netflix because it's kind of cool. And Mads Mikkelsen kind of looks like Solid Snake, so I'm all for that. In this movie, this posters looks pretty nutty. I don't want to spoil it because Winter hasn't seen it, so I won't go too deep into detail.
Thank you very much.
But absolutely, but it was really good. One movie I super don't care about spoiling is Matrix Revolutions that I watched this week.
Matrix what?
Revolutions.
Oh.
Don't ask me why. I just wanted to watch it because I haven't seen it in such a long time.
And you just felt like you needed to see it now.
Yeah, I didn't watch Matrix. I didn't watch Reloaded. I just wanted to watch Revolutions by itself in a kind of a white room. And I remember it being disappointing and bad and just overall unsatisfactory. You know, like when you order food and they bring you the wrong food, but you still eat it and you're just like,
yeah,
I'm full, but it's not what I wanted. In retrospect, it's rather a beautiful movie in a weird way. And you can see where all the money went. Like the cinematography is really well done. Like the overall set design is very well done. Machine City by itself is just this beautiful thing to look at.
Right.
Barring the over saturation of like Judeo-Christian imagery that's in that movie. I wouldn't mind it if it was done well or tasteful. But when Neo dies, literally a cross glows on his chest. Like it's very kind of Shyamalan levels of slapped on, like you get it? He's like in a T-pose. Like he's literally has a glowing cross on his chest. I'm like, okay, you could have done that more subtly, but that's fine.
They did it perfect.
Makes sense. I'll allow it.
But the real question to ask, because I just remembered that this happened on the weekend, and it's nerd related.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts about the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh my goodness, we want to go right into that. It's funny. I've been reading about the Super Bowl the big game halftime show. God, yeah. I hate when they call it that. And the behind the scenes of it's really stupid. So apparently there was supposed to be a lot more. There's a lot going on in that halftime show. Yeah. So firstly, it's Maroon 5 who don't have a new album out. So it's like there's no new music, right? They're doing all the old hits. They did their very first hit single, like ever. That's weird in 2019. It was like a cover band, All
right.
And don't get me wrong, I like Maroon 5. I love their first album,
and
their second album, but it just was very jarring. Apparently, a lot of multiple different acts were supposed to be on the show. I believe Outkast was supposed to be there completely. So Andre 3000 was supposed to be there with Big Boy. There was supposed to be Cardi B was supposed to be there. Mick Jagger was supposed to be there. It was supposed to be this big thing,
right?
But everybody kind of jumped ship because Cardi B made it very vocal that she decided not to do the show in solidification with Colin Kaepernick and that whole thing. And everybody else just dropped like at the last minute. So they were like, hey, Adam, can you just do the whole thing? It's like, fine. Oh, and then in the middle of the halftime show, they did this weird SpongeBob tribute that lasted 5 seconds. And it just lit Twitter on fire, and everybody was pissed because they disrespected SpongeBob because they didn't let it rock, and everyone was getting real hype. There was literally one guy I was watching on like TikTok or something. The guy was like, he was screaming at the top of his lungs, "What's happening? This is awesome! This is what it's all for!" Right. 5 seconds later, it stopped. He's like, "What? No!" This guy's like losing his mind. It had me dying. But yeah, the halftime show was complete foobar, dude. It was like it complemented the game very well.
Ooh,
Ooh,
ooh, yeah. So this is what I have to say about it, because this is a very interesting thing, because I am not a fan of most of the Super Bowl halftime shows, but I will say that the star power that they bring to it is very powerful.
That's the show,
yeah,
right?
that's the show. For instance, Justin Timberlake did it last year, right?
Right.
Or something like that. Anyways, so, and I feel like to say that Maroon 5 is up there with other acts that have done it before, like Bon Jovi,
Prince,
Prince, Justin Timberlake, is to self-commit yourself to an insane asylum, people.
The NFL has a rough rap nowadays, man. People aren't feeling it. People are boycotting it.
Notice the words there, nowadays. It wasn't the fact that they were banging each other's brains out on the grass. Okay.
Right.
Anyways.
Right.
I didn't mean to be that, but it just kind of happened.
That's what happens.
Yeah, but that's the world we live in. Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting that Maroon 5. I felt like the NFL went through the Rolodex of like, who can we get? And I'm like, I guess Maroon 5. Maybe the Black Keys aren't doing. Oh no, Black Keys are definitely doing something.
They're busy.
Yeah, no country band. I would think this would be like the prime time to have a country band on a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
get like Charlie Daniels out there. I got a few things to say. Or what was the Hank Williams Jr.
Hank Williams Jr. Get him out there.
Yeah, I got some important things to say as well. No, that actually that would be that's the surest way to get the XFL off the ground if they actually did that. But anyways, what I thought was the best way to describe the night was that after the Travis Scott dude was done, and after Maroon 5 did sing another song, by the way, all their songs did not feel like they were Super Bowl songs. They all
at all.
Yeah. Out comes who's the guy that I'm thinking of?
Big Boy?
It was one half of Outkast.
Yeah, Big Boy.
Yeah, Big Boy. And I told myself, this is the classic. This is the best way to describe the Super Bowl, where they didn't get the good member of Outkast to come.
No,
they got the other one, the one that was not known for being zany and wild. They did not get the crazy. They didn't get the out part of the cast.
No, they just got the cast.
So that's all I wanted to say. I was trying to build up to that joke, but it didn't land, so we can just move on.
No worries, man.
No,
it's Jackson 5. Where's Michael? Michael, you don't need Michael. You have Tito. The big game. Speaking of the big game, we can use that to roll into the news if you wanted to.
Into the news.
Into the news.
The love news. Da-da-da-da-da news. Thank you very much, folks.
That'd be $10. So there's usually a bunch of trailers during the Super Bowl. That's one of the things, right?
Yes.
They play a lot of trailers, and the trailers are exciting and funny, and there's none of that this year. The whole Super Bowl was just
there's none of that.
Super board. I'm gonna call it the Super Board. The Super Board was just really just nah. I'm super mad that I wasted precious hours of my life. But one thing that was worth talking about was a new Avengers-Endgame trailer that was like 5 seconds long, showing nothing, which I like. I don't want them to show anything. But one thing I did want to talk about is there's a scene, and this is no spoilers, mind you. It's literally a scene of characters that you already know are there, standing on a yard. There's a big giant gap and then there's another guy on the other side. And everyone's starting to get wise to how Marvel just lies to you in their trailers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just lie. Like, for Infinity War, there was the scene where the Hulk was running with the group in the teaser, in the stinger of the trailer. And for everyone who's seen Infinity War knows that the Hulk is nowhere in that movie, except for the very beginning where he gets bopped by Thanos. And so everyone's like, is there some, did Marvel remove a person from this scene? Are they doing it again? And my thing is just like, does it matter? Like, no, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
You get that, right? So none of these trailers mean anything anymore.
Oh, now.
They don't mean anything.
They show you who are going to be the principal characters, right?
Yeah.
They tell you something. I see what you're saying there, but you know, if we want to go down the route of trailers don't mean anything, is this the reason why they don't mean anything? Does Marvel really need to advertise that they're having a new movie out for people to go see it?
At this point, no.
No.
There's like, it's common marketing and business knowledge to advertise your products, right?
Mm-hmm.
So movie trailers have to exist. But when you've reached such a fever pitch like Avengers Endgame, you don't have to show anything. Just give us a date and we'll be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some movies don't have that kind of clout. So like something like I don't know, Calvin and Hobbes, whatever that movie that's coming out with The Rock.
Hobbs and Shaw, you know what it is. You're
Calvin and Hobbes, dude.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this relationship is taking its toll on me.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I will do all of my power to cultivate this relationship.
Yeah, well, you do have moves like Jagger, so
I do have moves like Jagger, though. You did something and I didn't catch it. I'm very mad about that.
Yeah, that's why I had to quickly add an easier softball at the
Damn it!
there.
I'm not used. It's like you know how
take it seriously.
No, that triggered me because you know how like when Batman's talking to like Commissioner Gordon, and like Commissioner Gordon's talking, and he turns around and Batman's already gone. And, like Commissioner Gordon's like, I hate when he does that. And then Batman's talking to Superman, and Superman flies away, and Batman turns around, and Superman's already gone. And Batman's like, oh, now I know what that feels like. That's it. When I don't get your reference, that makes me feel that way. But that's okay. This is why we compliment like chicken and beer. But no, the Avengers trailer showed nothing, means nothing. Just stay hype. April's coming soon. Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what it is. It's like the Simpsons episode with Gabbo. Gabbo. Everyone's like, I guess it's something about Gabbo. That's all Avengers trailers need to be. It's just, I am Groot. People will show up.
Yeah.
People will come through. Do you think that people will show up for an animated Super Mario's movie in 2022?
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna. Well, yeah, they're as soon as people want to wash out their mouth with previous Super Mario Brothers movie attempts, so they're definitely gonna see this, and I'm gonna be upset if they don't make any reference to the previous film or like just a little Easter egg.
Right. I think one of the reasons why Into the Spider-Verse was so popular because it was very self-referential. It made a lot of fun of it. It made a lot of fun of Spider-Man. Right. A ton of fun of Spider-Man. They referenced Spider-Man 3 and how horrible that was. And I think a Super Mario animated film that took itself too seriously would almost be Poison. But it's a Nintendo. Sometimes they could be tone deaf about this stuff. So hopefully they just leave it in the hands of a filmmaker who knows how to kind of rattle the cages a little bit. But I did have a question for you. How much does Mario talk in this movie? Does he have big speeches? Do you limit him kind of like a Sonic, or like characters who are known not to be very gabby. You know, like, because you can only work that stereotype so far. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is. It's an acceptable stereotype.
Yeah. We needed the super bros that we deserve, not the Super Mario Brothers that we wanted.
You become a stereotype, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
I say you don't let Mario or Luigi talk at all.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, folks. You gotta have him talk a little bit, or go. It's like I'm number one now. I'm number one.
I am number one. No, you know, it's like Legend of Zelda. Do you let Link talk? No, you can't.
Yeah, but it's a movie. You can't have. Well,
I know.
Yeah,
you need story progression and character development through voice.
Right.
But Mario, what's he going to do? He's going to go, wah!
No, he's going to have like...
It's me, Mario! You know?
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to say that in the film. Like, it's going to be the battle scene of like, who is him? Who is him? Who is that guy? Like, it's me, Mario.
Oh shit! It's like
just get Linkin Park back. Oh, they're still together, but
it's just crawling in my skin. And Mario's ripping off a shell off the back of a Goomba and his blood and pus and everything. Mario's eyes are glowing red.
I didn't go that far, but good for you.
It's me, Mario, and then Rammstein starts playing.
So there's a clear
directed by Rob Zombie.
Yeah, we're not the ones making this film.
Don't give me money, dude. My Mario movie will be insane, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Give me all types of crazy
I don't know if
stuff.
Reggie Watts, or wait, not Reggie Watts.
Reggie would not want to give me money, though. Yeah. Reggie Watts. He loves Mario.
All right.
Oh man! Speaking of edgy stuff, one other gem from the Super Board that was birthed this past weekend was an actual kind of teaser for the upcoming Twilight Zone show. That's only going to be on CBS Premiere, which makes me very mad.
Boo!
Because I don't want to buy that service at all, dude.
They're $5.99 a month service.
Oh, for the Twilight Zone.
Yep. Okay,
I better hear some crazy good stuff.
Now. Okay, this is what grinds my gears. Here we go, folks.
Hit it. Yeah, let's get it.
We are in a world where all the shows that I want to see CBS make are going on their online platform, and all their terrible shows or remakes or whatever are on TV.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird to me because it's like I want to see Star Trek. I want to see all Star Trek stuff that they have to do. And I haven't watched a lot of Star Trek in my life, folks. I want to see Twilight Zone. I want to see that thing that Fitzsimmons or whatever he made. Know Your Neighbor or whatever it's called. But it's all like all their good shows are going on All Access. And I wonder why. Do they know that that's the future? So they should put all their efforts on that? And if so, why aren't they if they could cut so much money just re-releasing the stuff that they have online on TV? It's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
It's very confusing because I don't know if they're putting these shows on All Access because they have no faith in them or they have too much faith in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a Twilight Zone remake deserves to be primetime CBS.
It's a weird paradigm that CBS is doing, and it's like
it's very frustrating because it's like, are they conceding that television is dead? Is that what they're doing?
No, I mean I'm saying that they know what their audience wants, or like I mean. Who I can't say. I don't know what's going on over there. If anyone can explain it to me, tweet me.
It's like I want to watch Titans on the DC universe,
right?
But I don't want to be hunched over my laptop watching Titans on my little screen when there's no real streaming opportunity anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to watch CBS All Access that can't be streamed from my PlayStation or from my smart TV or whatever. And it's like, why subjugate these shows that have so much promise? Like you said, I've been hearing nothing but good things about Star Trek Discovery. Like, I heard it's pretty good. I kind of want to check it out.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting All Access. Like, it's just, no, that's another $10 whatever a month that I'm going to have to worry about for your one show. And I really want to see this Star Trek, and I want to support Jordan Peele, but it's like, no, just it's too much. It's a little bit of too much, man. Like,
it's too much.
And they're not even trying to bundle this stuff anymore, you know? I don't know. I better hear some crazy good vibe about this Twilight Zone show for me to even kind of consider it, to check out the first season.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to pass it.
It's showing some promise.
It sounds interesting, and I'm hoping it's kind of a weird American version of Black Mirror, which Black Mirror is like but you got to say that Black Mirror is a weird UK version of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I give it to you.
Like a modernized one.
Yeah,
people are gonna kill me, yell at me about that. But
Twilight Zone dealt more with, I think, social issues that were not necessarily tied with technology. While Correct. Black Mirror, the name itself is about technology. Because didn't you know that the Black Mirror is your phone turned off?
Oh my God, you just pulled a tooth out of my mouth with a pair of pliers.
Well, didn't you know that? Get woke. Okay.
Get woke. Oh my gosh. I think you just destroyed 1/3 of my brain.
Because the Black Mirror is a window into your soul as well, but it's also a window to your phone that's turned off.
This is literally Lex Luthor pointing kryptonite at Superman, and he's just cowering. Yeah. Like, stop.
I mean, please. I went to college and everything to figure that out, but,
Stay woke.
I like to feed people that are near me. Okay.
Don't touch my hair.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Don't touch my crown.
I'm done.
Speaking of bad jokes, Jackson, they're giving Zack Snyder another shot at a movie.
Bad joke.
Sorry.
It's a decent joke.
It's a decent joke. It's a joke you can set your watch to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke you can comb your hair to, man. So, Zack Snyder is back at it, risen from the grave of the DCEU.
Right.
Apparently, he's making a Netflix movie called Army of the Dead. He's going back to his zombie roots.
Going back to my
Not
roots.
really zombie roots.
Yeah.
Okay. Zack Snyder walks around with the garage band.
Can you name that song?
I can't. Name it for us. Tell us.
It's Richie Havens. Going back to my roots.
Going back to my roots.
Yeah.
I could tell that's what Zach was listening to when he was like tightening up his belt. Was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a zombie movie. Oh man. So apparently there's some weird stuff going on with the original edit of this script that he was trying to push to Hollywood. And everyone knows that when you don't receive any kind of successful response from Hollywood, always go to Netflix.
Right.
Netflix will take your garbage. They don't care. Netflix accepts all.
Yeah.
You just, what you got? You got a movie about a werewolf that is a beatnik detective in 1970s Lithuania. Sounds great. Yeah. Bring it. We'll make Adam Sandler do it. Is what they say. So Zack Snyder, which there's so many like polarizing things about him. I would say he's almost as loved and as hated as M. Night Shyamalan. Whereas there's just some people who just will cut you over that director in their creative vision, and there's just some who can't stand him and think they've ruined XYZ.
Right.
Zack Snyder's that kind of director, you know what I mean? Where he's very polarizing. And it kind of seems like Netflix is everyone's restart button. If you're a comedian that's had like a bad time with the press, if you're an actor who can't catch a break, if you're a director who's lost companies multiple millions of dollars in marketing revenue. Just go to Netflix. They'll heal you.
Right.
They'll bring you in. They don't care. You know, just they get final say. And that's why we had the Cloverfield paradox, because they just don't care. Just bring whatever you got. Whatever trash you need. Are you excited for a Zack Snyder film in general, dude?
Yeah, I mean, as probably many of you know, the reason why he hasn't been working on a lot of things recently was because of a death in his family in 2017.
Well, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I was definitely take all the time you need for that, and clearly he did. Not a lot of directing going on. So this will be the first one that not only is he directing and producing, but he also wrote the story for. So I'm hoping this is going to be like a return to form. Like for Dawn of the Dead, he did not produce or write it, but he did direct it. So this is going to be like, I'm trying to look through the list of things that he did all three things for. I was one of the few people.
Sucker Punch is one of them, right?
Sucker
yes. Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch. He did all three. The next, that's actually the only one I can see on the list here.
Yeah, but so, like you said, I hope it's a return to form for him, because personally, my favorite Zack Snyder movie was the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I think he knocked that movie out of the park. You know what I mean? In his style, I really like that movie. So him going back to the zombie genre to kind of find his footing is hopefully a healthy and a cathartic place for him to kind of get back in touch with what he loves doing, and obviously that's filmmaking. I just hope that he learned his lessons from the whole Warner Brothers ordeal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, some directors don't need big budgets. You know what I mean? It clouds their judgment. Like, I think a director like that is like Tim Burton doesn't need a big budget. You keep him grounded, and he'll make fantastic films, Like, don't give him too much money, like, keep him within Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice, don't give him like Alice in Wonderland money, because then he goes nuts and he's untamable.
Right.
You got to kind of, I think Zach's the same way. You let him work with a minimal budget, and I think he'll make magic. You know what I mean? It's just, some directors are better. They just can't handle that much power and that much money, it muddles things. So hopefully with this humble restart, he'll make a zombie movie worth watching, because I thought the zombie genre was dead. No pun intended. But if he brings it back and makes it interesting, zombies got me scared again for Resident Evil 2. So it's always a good monster to go back to. So hopefully he makes an interesting film.
Yeah, I think it's got potential.
Potential. Yes, potential. Something else that had potential, which has turned into a potential big mess, was, did you hear about all that's going on with Metro Exodus, the video game?
Yes. And I love it.
I really wanted to talk about this. This is crazy. Did you want to open this one? Since it is mostly about PC players, and I know you're
so essentially
a PC guy.
Metro Exodus is pretty much a digital version of Russia put into a game, we will say. And it was originally was supposed to come out on Steam, and there was a lot of pre-orders. I'm just going to give you the let me know if you want to fill in facts later. But
that's fine.
Pre-orders on Steam, but recently there's been a shift, or like a Shyamalan twist, to where the game will now be released on Epic Games, which leaves Steam in a conundrum of, okay, we've taken all these pre-orders for this game, but now we have to return them? ? And they're getting salty because they posted something on the Steam pre-order, like, I'm sorry that this happened, pretty much calling out Epic Games and the Metro Exodus makers, and that resulted in fans going on the previous Metro games and showing democracy in action by giving them all negative reviews.
Yeah, it's getting ugly.
Yeah. So right now, I don't know if there's been any update since then.
The last thing I remember hearing was that one of the devs from Metro Exodus actually took and made a statement, pretty much putting his foot directly into his mouth by saying, and I'm ad-libbing here, that maybe in the future Metro Exodus won't release PC games because for the people who love our series, it shouldn't be an issue to download a new installer
Right.
for Epic to play the games, and anyone who's complaining are people who aren't going to buy our product anyway. So pretty much screw them. It's pretty much what he was saying in his response. And everyone in the industry is kind of like, you just didn't have to say anything, man. You know, like why be so vitriolic towards the situation, making it worse, you know? And also, I feel bad for those Steam people who are just out of game, are now it's a timed exclusive, quote unquote.
Right.
And I think there should be some kind of law against that. Shouldn't, like, if you've made a deal to release your product on a particular platform, you can't just jump ship at the 0 hour, because this game comes out like in 10 days.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. It's I mean, the way someone put it to me, because someone was saying the exact same thing, that they should be sued, and it would be interesting. Like if this was Australia, of other places, they would definitely be sued, because that would be a breach of the contract. But here, if you sign the terms of condition, there's a very high chance that that there's no scamming happening in the eyes of the Steam world. But I think what will happen is that they'll get credit back or some bogus thing.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Steam they're not losing money in the overall macro. So chances are they'll get some kind of voucher for a free game or something like that. But it's mostly like Metro saving face, you know, like that's not cool to do to your audience, and then to have that kind of response, it's just toxic, you know. Like why feed the trolls like that? Just
True.
Don't say anything. Just let the product speak for itself.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It's very it is
It's very childish. It's very childish.
To say that,
and you can find, I'm not making this up, you can find
it's a war between children. Let's not forget yeah.
True. True. Yeah.
I mean, we could always go like they should have taken the higher ground, and I think they should as a business.
Right.
But in a war with children, how far I have no clue what, like, we only are seeing what is the reaction on Steam, but I bet like it has gone past that. Definitely on Twitter, definitely could be going into prank calls, sending stuff to the office. I don't know. Yeah.
Death threats, all types of nutty stuff, man. Gets crazy. Gets super crazy. And I was kind of excited for like, I was going to play it on PC anyway.
And that's
but
the
I
thing,
was kind of excited to play Metro Exodus.
You just got to download.
You got to download the Epic Games app, you know, or the upload. I forget what they're called, the downloader or something like that. And if you want to play the game that bad, just do it. Downloader. Thank you. I'm sorry. PC. One day. But yeah, just do it. I mean, it sucks, but if you want to play the game now, then do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Like, do what you got to do, man. No one's putting a gun to your head. If you're super mad about it, then don't vote with your wallet. That's the easiest way to get your point across.
That is true.
Don't support it,
folks.
Don't support it.
Speaking the truth.
That is the ultra truth, Ruth. Speaking of voting with your wallets, man, you want to talk about this free game real quick before we go into the closing news article? So and this is very tight-ropey and scary, and I don't know, is Respawn,
Can you list some
the
games that
gaming company that
they
created
released before? Okay, go. Yeah.
Titanfall 2. Titanfall is one of the better FPSs of last year. Hands down. It just was a smooth, buttery game that just got lost. It's one of those hidden gems. You know what I mean? Kind of like Resistance Fall of Man.
Right.
Just got buried amongst the other games. They out of nowhere released a free-to-play game backed by EA called Apex Legends. And apparently it's a battle royale FPS hero shooter. So it's money, pretty much.
Yes.
It's give me
I
money.
actually downloaded it today.
I was going to download it today. You got to let me know how that plays.
You have to download EA's Origin, by the way.
That's why I'm happy I'm not a PC player, because I just have to download it from on my PS4 and it's ready to go. Ugh. Chihuahua. So that another thing that's not in Steam, right? And apparently people are up in arms because it's Titanfall without the Titans, is what people are saying. There are no Titans whatsoever in it. It's a battle royale. So it's kind of PUBG, but it's not Fortnite. It's a hero shooter, so there's different classes with different effects, and it's forced co-op. So even if you kind of go in by yourself, you're going to be bunched in with two other pubs that you're going to have to deal with unless you're teaming up. And it's squad based. It's heavily squad based, and apparently it's not bad. Apparently it's pretty good from the early reviews I've kind of gleaned today, because it just got announced today.
Well, I've played 2 games of it so far, and it's nice looking. I like the graphics of it. Definitely it makes sense. Like, to me, the graphics are, you've heard the company made Titanfall 2, and the graphics kind of mirror that, now that you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is pretty. Titanfall 2 is a very pretty game. I may have to download this myself. Absolutely. Yeah. But it's bittersweet, because with the news of this game kind of launching, they also put out the news that currently a Titanfall 3 is not in development in the near future, which bums out a lot of people, because Titanfall is a very niche first-person shooter. You know what I mean? It's not It's not a COD, and it's not a Battlefield. It's a very niche shooter that's very specific. It does very specific things. And to hear that the game that you like kind of is on the back burner for this money grab, and let's call it what it is. It's a free-to-play money grab with microtransactions and bonus bundles and all that fun stuff.
Hold on.
It is what it is.
A money grab?
What else is it?
A money grab would mean that they're not putting effort into the game, and therefore
I'm not going to. Okay.
Yeah, money grab is a shyster.
It's a strong term.
Yes.
Okay, it's a strong term. Am I using strong terms? Okay, I'll put it like this.
I would
Respawn or no.
I would reel that back in.
No, I'll just put it like this. Respawn or no slouches. They make very good games. I'm not gonna knock that.
Okay.
But in the eyes of the macro EA, the empire, the Emperor Palpatine of video game development, what did they put out for us? They gave a AAA developer and stripped down their ideas to the basic core. Anything that costs money, they kicked out. What do you mean giant robots? Kick those out. Okay, let's lower the graphical fidelity just a little bit. There's no story. There's no voice acting. There's none of that. We're just going to make a free-to-play battle royale and put it out there. No fanfare, no marketing, no build-up to this game. There is what?
There is voice. Well, are we talking about?
I mean, there's no scripted story to this thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, of course, people can be like, "Oh yeah," and I've got you in my sights. Of course, they're going to be like grunts and growls, but there's no story to this thing. There's no campaign. I'll put it like that. And they just put this out. They put it out, and mind you, EA is also putting out Anthem, which is supposed to be their big game of this quarter, right before it. So they're putting out this game to die. They're expecting everyone to play this for free for a split second until they jump off it and go on to Anthem. Another game they're putting out in the same month. So they're ODLering this game, which potentially looks amazing, which looks great, which makes me think that they're not putting a lot of attention to this thing. And it's EA. So I can only give them the benefit of the doubt for so far that they're giving us this gift of a free game in goodwill without overloading it with microtransactions and skins that are going to cost $20 and loot boxes and all that fun stuff.
Right.
And I hate to be so cynical, but it's just like EA has left us no choice. They have made devious video game decisions in the past 5 years. You know, I can't think of one redeemable video game that they've put out in the last 5 years.
Sims 4. Okay.
Damn. It's hard to squeeze microtransactions into that, but they'll figure it out.
Battlefield 1.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh wait, didn't that go to court?
Right. Well,
anywho,
before the friendship is over, let's do the final article.
Till the night goes easy. Oh, geez. Speaking of friendships, apparently Microsoft is expanding Xbox Live to the Nintendo Switch in mobile.
Yep.
Talk about putting chocolate in your peanut butter, man. So you may think like, okay, Xbox Live will be accessible to the Nintendo Switch. What does that mean? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
what exactly does that mean?
There is, I believe, a hole in Nintendo Switch's online play where don't you need an app on your phone to talk to people?
It's really busted,
right.
Yeah.
So I can see weird. Microsoft coming in there with Xbox Live and going, hey, this is the way that you can talk to each other now. And bada bing, you're all good to go.
You're good to go. And it almost makes me think of the access powers, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't beat them, join them. It's why don't we just play together? Why don't any game that's on the Xbox whatever, in the Nintendo, whatever, we can cross-play and leave Sony out of it because Sony doesn't want to play with us anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that kid, the rich kid over there is too good to play basketball with us. Screw him. Let's just play one-on-one together and let him be over there. So what I think it's going to be, I think you're going to be able to play Xbox Live exclusives on the Switch. So you're going to be able to play Halo 1, 2, and 3 probably on the Switch on the go. Knights of the Old Republic, all the Jade Empire, you know what I mean? Like all the crazy digital-only streaming games you're going to be able to play on your Switch. And like you said, a little's going to pick from the other one, you know? So the Switch is going to get better communication, I think. And crossplay is going to be even more silky across both platforms and mobile. So if you want to play your Fortnites on your Switch with your friend on his Xbox and your friend on their phone, you're all going to have a nice little cuddle puddle while Sony just does whatever it wants to do. Which I think is smart. I mean, the next gen console generation is coming up, and it's going to get ugly the closer we get to no consoles, you know, at all. I think we will reach that one day where it's just you play on something and there's no more PlayStations or Nintendos. It's going to be this weird Wild West, probably just all PC. I think that's the inevitable end game.
Yeah. Well, that's where the games, the systems are essentially becoming like the rumors of now consoles with no disc tray. You're essentially having a low budget PC now. Only it's more. It costs more.
Only it costs more and the graphics are less. You know? So it may sound weird, that Microsoft and Nintendo are playing so close together, but I think it's survival. You know what I mean? It's a lot of survival, and I don't think you're going to see Mario on an Xbox anytime soon. I don't think it's going to work that way, but I do think that they're going to really push crossplay in the next generation, and crossplay is going to be a big thing that Sony reluctantly is not going to be a part of,
right?
Because they're just too stubborn to get with the times on that and play well with others because they're so afraid of their systems being hacked, which understandable because Sony got ultra hacked about 2 years ago that we all remember. But I think that's the wave of the future, is that these people are going to start integrating more and more, and we're going to start seeing stuff like this more often. You know, it's going to make a lot of gamers uncomfortable, you know, or make them fun, or make them happy, because some people are very elitist, you know, and I don't get it. Like, some people are like, I only play Sony and that's it. I only play Nintendo, and I don't want my peas mixing with my mashed potatoes. I was like,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
It's I don't know if it's too much of a push by the fans. I think the fans would not mind it. It's the companies themselves that have the old school idea of we can't play along with each other when some of the biggest moves happen. Well, I say can't play along together publicly. I mean, I think everyone knows that Apple uses Samsung products in their phone, sort of thing. So, yeah,
it's
or
silly
like
stuff,
Microsoft helped Apple get out of a jam back in the day, we will say. Just stuff like that. So they are playing along with each other, but it just takes one guy. Let's throw out the Tesla dude, Elon Musk, to come out and go, why don't you guys all join together? Something like that.
Tony Stark, dude.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? not Tony.
Oh, snap.
And
he's just like, hey guys, stop being stupid.
And then eventually computers will become the new consoles, and consoles will become the new phone, and then the phone will just be something you jam into your eye.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. Our new overlords. Yeah, bring them on. So I'm not like freaking out about this like some people are, like, oh no, it's the end times. It's just, it's survival of the fittest, and nobody wants Sony to win the console war again. You know what I mean? Nobody wants them to win again, even though I don't mind it because they make great games. But it's going to take something. It's going to take some kind of concerted effort.
Yeah.
to at least touch the PlayStation 5, which is just on the horizon. You know, we maybe got 1, maybe 2 more years before Sony hits us with the new hotness and everyone's going to freak out about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you, dog.
I feel you. You're the man now, dog. Sorry.
What was that?
That's not good to do. That's not good to do. Looking forward to anything, dude?
Not really. You know, I'm going to be playing some of this Apex Legends. I've been playing Rocket League. I finally got my pickle rocket trail that I've been trying to get, and I've already reached past rank 100, and that's when they stop like telling you the different things you earn until you actually pass that level, and it's mostly just like things you've already gotten, only painted differently. So I'm at 142 the ring, and just listening to podcasts.
Same here, man. I gotta brush up on something. I have no idea what I'm talking about, so looking forward to that. Watching a lot of YouTube videos about it and reading about it, and just talking to people who are going to be helping us with this new thing we're going to be doing. So it's just a lot of educating myself.
It gives you something to talk about.
Okay, sorry. Also, dang, you distracted me with Bonnie Wraith.
I don't know what you're saying.
Is that Bonnie Wraith? Dang it. Yeah. Okay. I remember. Thank you. For Honor is free on PlayStation Plus, so I kind of want to play that. Kind of want to get into For Honor, which is this weird kind of like medieval fighting game, but it's not a fighting game. So I'm very interested, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. So I want to try that out. But either that or Apex. What is it called again? What's it called? Super Bowl Saturday.
Apex Legends.
Wow, your mic just died during your Apex Legends correlation.
Oh,
that's beautiful. Okay, do it again. It's between those two. So I don't know. Whatever's less gigs.
Whatever is less gigs.
Whatever's less gigs, I'm going to download. Whatever, I don't care.
Spoken like a true gamer. Whatever is less gigs.
Whatever's less gigs, man. If I can download it, I can start it in the morning and play it by the time I get off work. That's good. Those are good times, baby.
Good times, baby.
And also, those are some good times, baby. And also doing some artwork for our secret project. Finishing up that. It's kind of fun it's always good to do artwork. You don't know where it's going, but you just let your brain take it wherever it's going to go. It's always fun stuff. So yeah. Any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, catch me on all social media under Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk III. I'll be doing some writing, working on a few projects, and keeping it real.
Keeping it real in the field, you know what I mean? If you want to check us out on Twitter, you can always check out our Twitter page, which is @MNerdiverse. It's usually filled with a lot of memes, some polls, pictures of like mushroom sandwiches. You ever had a mushroom
Yes,
sandwich?
I have, Dave.
Delicious. It's a hearty vegetable. There's stuff to it.
Okay.
It's a hearty vegetable, dude. You bite it into it and you think about stuff. So yeah, go to MNerdiverse and check us out there. And if you want to support the show, you can always do so on Patreon. That is Masters of the Nerdiverse Cast, where a donation of $1 can actually go a long way to help this podcast get better. And if you wanted to support us non-monetarily, a like is always appreciated. Commenting is always fun, and subscribing is awesome. I'm, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond